back to my channel. This video is exactly what the title is, how I survived a long distance relationship. I tried to record this video with Spencer. You first moved here. It didn't turn out that great. Sorry, Spence. So I'm re-recording it. I made 5 tips and he gave 5 tips, so I will read mine, also read off his. But let's just get started. So my first tip about how to survive a long distance relationship, it's probably a given, is communication. Communication is key to long distance relationships. If you think about it, it is honestly the only thing you really have. This will definitely teach you how to be a much better communicator. So if you want the long distance relationship to work, you have to be willing to be honest and open and communicate with each other. Which actually leads me into my second point, which is being open to the relationship changing. Now, obviously, what you once knew as your relationship is going to look much different as you're in long distance. 3 or 4 months into it, you're gonna realize, wow, what I knew or what I used to know as my relationship, it's not even like that anymore. Think of it as a time where you can really focus on yourself, what you're doing, how you can grow, how you can become stronger, healthier, better in all aspects of your life, because you have so much time to focus on it while the other person can do the same. A lot of people, me included, don't like change very much, especially if you have a really great thing and then you know it's suddenly changing. It's really hard to envision what that's gonna look like and if you even want it. The thing to remember is that your relationship is always gonna change. If you guys are serious for real and you see a future together, your relationship is going to change throughout the course of your life. So this is just one of those changes, and it's a time where you really get to kind of focus on yourself while still being with the person that you love and want to be with. My third tip is giving the other person the benefit of the doubt. Okay, it's very easy to give into your thoughts and your worries, so instead of jumping to conclusions or getting upset, which that's me, but trusting the other person. Especially with texting, you can really misread something. Ask questions and say, did you mean this? Because I kind of read it like that, but I'm not sure. Can you explain a little bit more? More than not, the person completely meant it in a different way, and that can really save a lot of arguments, a lot of fights, and sometimes that's a make or break when you're in long distance. All right, fourth, the next one is to make plans for the future. The future is when you will once again be together. And so what is that gonna look like? What's the timeline? And what are you guys gonna end up doing? When you make plans, that helps you have something to look forward to. I also think when you commit to buying a ticket, it shows how much you really believe in your relationship and you are fully committed to it. That's going to help your relationship thrive. And my last and final tip, my 5th tip, is to go the extra mile. Even with something really small like a little gift, notes, messages, taking some extra time to really invest in your relationship. So let's say you are at a party or you're hanging out with a bunch of your friends and you're super busy, but you know that your boyfriend or your girlfriend is having an interview and they're really nervous and really worried. Taking a quick break or quick second to wish them good luck. That really makes the person feel special, and that you remember you can and tend to forget about things like that, especially when you're away. So make sure that you put in that little tiny bit extra effort. So now I'm gonna read Spencer's 5 tips. Now this is from a boy's perspective. Being in a long distance relationship really helps you grow and work on yourself to make you better for your significant other, which is very true. The next thing he said is you have to trust. If you're always jealous or worried about what can happen or what could go wrong, then you're really putting that into the relationship versus trust and faith and love and support. Appreciate the little things. The next thing he says is it's hard to make them feel loved, especially if you have like a quality time love language. That's something that long distance lacks, but you can make up with FaceTime calls, maybe even when you're making dinner or making food, FaceTiming so it feels like you're just hanging out and talking to them, spending time together, or watching a movie or watching a show with them. That really helps. The next thing is it makes you appreciate the time you have together more. You might have taken it for granted earlier, but then when you finally are together after you've had months and months and months waiting and being so excited to see them, you really value that and you see how special it is when you are together. This is more of a quote, but it says, if you can work through long distance in your relationship, it gives you the ability to work out any problem in the future. I would say after being in a long distance relationship for a year and a half, it can be really challenging and it makes things difficult, but I do think this is true. Now any sort of difficulties that we seem to face seem almost like a piece of cake. I mean, it's life, things will always be difficult, but I do think maybe what we would have gotten into fights or arguments about earlier in our relationship when we were together, we don't really get into those arguments anymore. And that's it. So if you enjoyed or found these tips helpful, then make sure to like this video or subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Comment any different kind of ideas or things you'd like to see from me. I have a whole bunch of ideas, but I always enjoy making something that I know for sure my subscribers will like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.